Welcome to your Tech News Today, where we keep you informed and empowered by giving you the latest tech stories that impact your daily life. It's Wednesday, March 6th. I'm Mike James. Coming up in just a bit, or so they say, you won't have to memorize those online passwords anymore. And watch out for those Mac OS flaws that could lead to someone taking over your computer. Plus, the FDA has a warning about robots used for surgery, and why use a free chat service when you can pay for one. At least that's what one man's hoping you'll do. We'll get started in just a bit. First, we'd like to recognize our partners who help make this Commando podcast possible. We start with your account passwords, and you know the routine. Your account's been breached. It's time to change your password. Stop using the same password for everything. It goes on and on. So it goes without saying, passwords are bad. They're old, they're not very secure, and they're always getting stolen from things like phishing scams or keystroke logging. But there may be hope. You might not have to keep relying on the antiquated password. Because a World Wide Web consortium and the FIDO Alliance this week finally made web authentication an official password-free login standard. This new standard is set to become the go-to option for account logins, so you would use biometrics like your fingerprint or your face to access your account instead of those passwords. And you can also use your smartphone or smartwatch to verify your identity, maybe even a USB security key. Whichever way you use, web authentication is more secure than any password that you could possibly come up with. And most popular web browsers support web authentication, including Google, Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, and Apple's Safari. More good news, a lot of operating systems also support this new format, like Windows 10, Chrome OS, and Android. But here's the speed bump. Companies have to get on board with the new standard. While some companies are ready to roll, like Dropbox and Microsoft, others might not quite be so ready to part ways with the password logins. Bottom line right now is that there is an official standard that could change some minds that want to stay with passwords. So the bottom line is, passwords may be going away. Yes. But I thought you'd be happy about that. There is a security flaw that could allow someone access to your Mac computer without you knowing about it. And Apple needs to get on this because the word is now out. Here's what happened. Google's Project Zero goes around looking for problems on their own systems, and sometimes they run across problems on other companies. And this time, that's exactly what happened. Their team of security researchers found what they're calling a high-severity Mac OS kernel flaw, and a potential attacker could be granted access to do whatever they want to your system, and you wouldn't know a thing about it until it's too late. Here's how it works. The flaw could allow someone to modify a user-owned mounted file system image without the virtual management subsystem being notified of any changes. Time is of the essence. Google found this flaw and told Apple about it last November. Apple's been working on a patch, but Google has a policy to automatically disclose their findings after 90 days, which seems very fair as a way to encourage companies to get on the ball about quickly fixing any issues. Well, the time's up. The alarm's going off. Google's now publicizing the flaw, even though Apple's patch isn't ready. And Apple hasn't said when that fix might be ready to roll out. So if you do own a Mac, keep in mind that your system could be vulnerable to attackers until Apple patches this flaw. And the clock is definitely ticking. Just ahead, robots might be the way of the future, but as far as surgery goes, the FDA says not so fast. Also just ahead, as a way to help expectant moms, part of one hospital now resembles an Apple store. Right now, let me tell you about our partners at Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level, like $10. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in just about 4 taps on your smartphone. Also with Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss an opportunity to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of Tech News a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at money.robinhood.com. I did. I love it. I've actually gone up about 10% already. Again, sign up at money.robinhood.com. Money.robinhood.com. You're probably used to seeing the occasional announcement from the FDA. You know, the FDA has approved so-and-so drug, or the FDA is issuing a warning about fill in the blank here. Well, now they have a new kind of warning. Don't let robots perform surgery on you. Okay, maybe they're not saying that exactly, but it is highly suggested that you should explore all the risks and alternatives to robot-assisted surgery when it comes to cancer. According to a CNN report, robotic surgeries aren't approved by the FDA for the treatment or prevention of cancer. Nice to know. Really, where are we here with medical breakthroughs? This is amazing that we're even talking about this. But basically, they haven't figured out if you have a better chance of surviving a traditional surgery or one where a robot would be involved. Doctors tend to like some of these robotical-assisted surgery gadgets. They're small, so they'll only make a small cut, and that means they're a lot less invasive, which has benefits like pain reduction, less blood loss, and scarring potential, and the big one, a shorter recovery time. But as they become more and more common for a lot of basic surgeries, now you're starting to see more doctors using them in cancer-related procedures. And although the FDA is cool with some procedures, they're not so sure about robotic assistance on other surgeries like mastectomy. Again, the FDA just wants to make sure you look at all the options before making a decision. And if you're leaning toward the robotic option, you're going to want to make sure that your doctor has some experience with the equipment. Not a lot of people like being the guinea pig, especially with robotic surgeries. Hey, let's stay on the topic of medical tech for a moment. You've probably been to or at least seen what an Apple store looks like, and you've probably known the inside of a hospital and what it looks like. But have you ever seen a hospital that looks like an Apple store? That's right, a hospital in New Orleans has revamped part of its building to look like an Apple store. It's not to figure out why your iPad's not working. It's all part of a program that allows expectant moms to monitor their health from home. According to CNBC, the program at Ochsner Medical Center in New Orleans, it's called Connected Maternity Online Monitoring, or MOM for short. How it works, a pregnant woman who enrolls in the program goes and sees a doctor, then they go to the hospital's O-Bar that resembles the Genius Bar at an Apple store. But instead of looking at different iPhones and Apple Watch options, they've got other tech to choose from, like connected weight scales, blood pressure monitors, and activity trackers. Moms-to-be take those gadgets home and keep tabs on their pregnancy without constantly having to go back to the hospital or clinic for checkups. Makes all kinds of sense. Once the home tech takes readings, it sends the data to a health kit, which stores medical information on the mom's iPhone, then makes its way to the doctor. Hospital says they've already enrolled 1,000 pregnant women into the Connected Mom program, and this is pretty exciting, and I'm sure if it works at this New Orleans hospital, it'll be rolled out for many other hospitals and probably many other types of care. Medical technology is just growing by leaps and bounds right now. Speaking of the iPhone, hey Siri, why aren't you as smart as Alexa? Despite being the first of her kind, Siri remains hopelessly stuck in the past while her competition gets better with each new version. Alexa already understands natural speech and casual conversation, while Google Assistant automatically includes the most powerful search engine on the planet. Meanwhile, Siri still fumbles names of people and places. Her voice, which used to win praise for its smoothness, now sounds hollow and robotic compared to the others. It looks like there's a new effort at Apple to revive Siri. Hopefully it's not too late. There's a new job posting that's specifically looking for a program manager who will be tasked with monitoring what people are saying about Siri through social media, news, and other sources. No, they're not partnering with Facebook to read your mind yet. Aside from sorting through the grapevine to gather what people love or really hate about Siri, the new position will also support engineering to ensure the success of Apple's Siri-centric marketing campaigns. It may be officially titled as Siri Engineering Program Manager, Siri Social Media Analyst and Marketing Production, But make no mistake about it, the fancy job posting is basically calling for a social media and marketing manager Surrey edition. Now, why would Apple even need a public image manager for its ubiquitous digital assistant? Well, frankly, everyone seems to be in agreement that compared to Amazon's Alexa and Google's Assistant, she's pretty terrible at her job. How bad? Just check out some of the reasons over at commando.com. Coming up, Facebook Messenger is going dark and paid by the character chat service. That's how one guy expects to take your money. Right now, a quick thank you to our friends who help make these podcasts possible. Yes, it's true. Facebook Messenger is going dark, but unfortunately, that doesn't mean it's offline or just going away. It's a dark theme for the Messenger app, but it's hidden. You can't just turn it on through the app. You have to work for it a little bit. You'll need to send a crescent moon emoji to someone else through Messenger. Then the option will appear in Settings. You can even send a message to yourself to activate the option. It's available for both iPhone and Android devices. Facebook says the new dark mode provides lower brightness while maintaining contrast and vibrancy, and less light could also potentially save some battery power as well. Facebook first announced that they were working on it last year. If only they would give us a heads up when they're about to give your data away, that would be kind of helpful as well. Penny for your thoughts? That's what it's going to cost you at a strange new chat room appropriately called Expensive Chat. A man in the Netherlands created the site as some kind of social experiment to see what happens when a chat room isn't a free-for-all. And what that means is if you use this guy's chat service, you'll have to pay a penny for every character you type. So if you have a lot to say, it'll cost you. Just typing that sentence would have cost me about 44 cents. The more you pay, the more you climb the leaderboard. But I have no idea why you would want to be at the top of that list. And where does the money go? Well, the con artist, guy who created it, keeps it, puts it in his pocket. He told Motherboard he started it as a way to make some extra money. Guess that's one way to make a buck. But just don't be duped into paying into this bizarre scheme. Sorry, if I want a website that keeps taking things from me, I'll just go to Facebook. By the way, once you're done listening to the tech news, do us a favor and give us a good rating wherever you do listen. It helps more people find us, and we thank you. Finally, for today's Commando Kicker, Apple is known to make changes to its products on a yearly basis, and 2020 is no different. Now, LCD panels and iPhones may be going away forever. iPhones already have OLED displays, and the company will be moving entirely to OLED screens for a few reasons. The most recent LCD iPhone, the iPhone XR, has been selling very well. Another reason for the switch is because 2020 iPhones may not be an iPhone at all. Apple is expecting a radical shift in its products, and that will require the components used in them to change. But since Apple is usually a trailblazer in technology innovations, LCD screens may soon be a thing of the past. For more fun and interesting facts, go to commando.com and search for the Commando Kicker. And that's your tech news for today. If you want to win great prizes like the Commando 2-in-1 tablet and laptop, or even a Commando Bluetooth speaker, simply become a Commando ambassador. If you love getting the Commando free email newsletters, you can share it with your friends and family who will benefit from valuable tech and the digital life hacks. Invite them to get the free email alerts. And more people you invite, the more they sign up and the more prizes you win. Just go to commando.com/ambassador to learn more.